This is the brand new Laowa 17mm f4 tilt shift lens. And at first glance, the build quality is absolutely amazing. It's probably the best tilt shift lens I've ever used. This video is in partnership with Laowa. I received this lens from them, but all my thoughts about this lens are my own. They don't get to review this video before it goes out. If it's your first time on my channel, my name is Michael Thomas. I'm a London-based architecture and time-lapse photographer. I use a plethora of tilt shift lenses, shift-only lenses, as well as super wide-angle and wide-angle lenses to shoot exteriors of buildings, interiors, as well as vast cityscapes, time-lapses. I enjoyed shooting with this lens on a variety of locations for the past 2 weeks, including a short trip to Nice with a couple of my friends. So if you want to see more images from my 2 weeks with this lens, head over to my Instagram at London Viewpoints for 20 image carousels and other ad hoc time lapses. First, quick explanation, what is a tilt shift lens? Tilt shift lenses are predominantly used for architecture, and in architecture we use the shift capability where you unlock the lens and then you move the body up or down depending where you want to shift the perspective. You can spin the perspective of the body while not unscrewing the lens in 360 degrees, because sometimes you would want to shift diagonally or shift to the left or shift to the right. And you can do the same thing with the tilt mechanism when you unlock the tilt mechanism at the bottom and use the top knob to tilt in this way, left or right. So your focus plane will be more left or more to the right. And if you lock it, you can obviously move the lens in a different rotation. Let's demonstrate it more in this way. You undo the back knob to enable tilting, then you can tilt the body up or you can tilt the body down in order to see where the focus plane will be, down or up. Well, in this position, if I wanted to show you the shift mode behaves that it moves actual body down because the lens is being held by lens leg. Or if you shift it so that the body goes up, then you see perfect lines if you were to look down rather than tilting your camera. The best way to demonstrate it would be to show how the shift position moves when I'm focusing on the 2 Trafalgar Way development, which is almost being completed right there, which used to be one of my clients, and now I see that it changed hands to another client I've actually worked in the past, Urban Nest. And I'm quite excited to see this being finished one day, especially the sky bridge. The sky bridge really looks cool. I'm going to show this to you in video mode rather than in photo, so you get a live feed from the camera. I'm going to shoot in full frame, and the first thing you want to do when shooting architectural images is to make sure that your horizon is level. I'm using the built-in camera horizon leveling feature to see that I'm perfectly aligned and looking straight along the horizon with my green lines. And when I'm looking horizontally perfect with no shift or no tilt, I can still see the top of the buildings. However, I'm getting too much water, even though in this position actually I don't mind the water reflection. But I would want to shift the perspective a little bit higher to have the buildings being center of the image and a little bit more sky above. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the shift mechanism on the right side of the lens and then shift the body down, and you can see how the perspective is changing. Oh, I can even see some planes flying above. So this is around the middle of the shift possibility. However, I could shift it all the way up and you see how much it actually shifts, but I don't want to shift it as much. This is probably just fine. However, let's assume that I do not like this building on the right being a part of my composition, and I want to position the buildings a little bit more to the right and reveal a little bit of the space here. Rather than moving the camera to the left, what I'm going to do is actually rotate the body a little bit to the right, so I can rotate the lens a little bit to the left, manage to get my horizon straight, and then release the shift mechanism again and move it a little bit more again in this position. Unfortunately, it reveals another building on the left that I would not want to focus on, but it enables me to get the composition that I would want. So that's the shifting mechanism where you can shift in multiple directions, not just up, but actually diagonally or even completely horizontally to the left and right if you're somewhere off center from a perspective, but you want to be having the buildings or wherever you're shooting more in the center of the image while maintaining still vertical and horizontal lines of the structure that you're shooting. This could be a room or just exteriors architecture as I'm shooting just now. Another use for the shift mechanism is you can actually merge multiple photos, let's say the bottom down, middle, and all the way up for one high resolution photo. Like I'm gonna demonstrate now. Unlocking the mechanism, first shifting all the way down, it shifts even past the building that I can see, taking a photo now, then going for the middle shot, and then getting everything all the way up. You can probably see from this, I could be shooting a building that's at least double the size of this one that's around, let's say, 30-something floors, and being not that far away from it, while still maintaining all the vertical lines straight, merging the three photos, producing a super wide angle composition, which I'm actually going to do now in photo mode. And this is the photo that I've produced, and that's not even at the max shift settings because I didn't have to go all the way to the max. New location, we are above the A13, so it can be a little bit noisy. We are going to be shooting behind the window, unfortunately, so I'm gonna put the lens skirt on in a second when I get the lens as close to the window as possible, because we're actually not shooting flat against the surface, we're shooting slightly at an angle. The quality might not be perfect, however, I think this is a cool location to showcase both the shift capability and the tilt capability. Now the camera sees in perfect horizon mode, just 17mm wide, shooting full frame 4K. So we're gonna first shift all the way down. Yeah, in here we can start seeing the lens skirt. So it's not the lens cutting off, it is actually the lens skirt. But we could shoot from here, move a little bit up, and go somewhat all the way up, and then we start seeing the lens skirt. It's not the edge of the lens, it's the lens skirt. But now, what if I wanted to use the tilt capability? Have the cars in focus, but not the top of the buildings behind it. Yes, we can do that. First, I'm gonna twist the tilt mechanism to be up or down until I'm perfectly vertical. We lock that and get the camera back body in alignment. We unlock the tilt mechanism and we start tilting to somewhere here. We change the focus. Now this creates the perspective of shooting miniatures. So now the bottom section of the video is in focus, while the building behind and all the skyline is out of focus, and it creates this surreal miniature-like feature. And that's just one of the uses of the tilt mechanism. Do want to wait to get one of the DLRs passing. There's one coming, it's gonna stop at the station and then go that way. And go. Does look interesting, even though the sun now brings out all the dirt in the bit of glass that I'm shooting through. We were shooting it now in landscape mode, but we can do it if you want to shoot for social media content in portrait. Let's reset that up. In an interesting turn of events, now I can see too much of the lens skirt, so I need to get one bigger lens skirt or twist the lens skirt in a portrait orientation, which I'm gonna do now. And just like that, we got rid of seeing the lens skirt around. We're gonna wait for another DLR now to come through to shoot this in vertical mode. And the amount of depth of field this creates, yes, it almost makes it feel like miniature, but with a wide angle like this, to have just an element of the plane in focus and everything else blurred out makes it surreal. At this point, it's also worth mentioning that you can create a somewhat looking tilt effect in post by using various tools that blur the focus upwards with a linear gradient filter and blur the focus downwards with a second linear filter that softens the focus. You can add a feather. Not quite sure how does it compare. So let's redo this clip in a normal standard middle shift, middle tilt no changes to the perspective video, and then actually add that. And this is how it looks.
Next location, we are right next to Dollar Bay, looking at super tall skyscrapers. And what a better opportunity to showcase the vertical shift when you want to capture the top of the building, which isn't even possible on the Action 5 Pro's wide angle mode, while this lens will be capable of capturing them. So what we're going to do first is turn just the body into vertical shooting mode until it clicks. It's a nice clicking mechanism. And then we're going to unscrew the shifting mechanism that shifts the body up and down. I can see perfectly these buildings that I'm facing that way. I can actually see beyond this tower. That's crazy actually. But what can we see that way? I'm just gonna rotate. I will stress out that using three-way geared head for any architectural images is just basics. This Benro three-way head has been my favorite for the past 6 years or something. Love it. Wouldn't replace it with anything. And that's another thing that I would want to say. Max shift, full frame, and it's shifting to the edge of the much wider portion that a full frame lens needs. It's more like a medium format lens or a large format lens almost, while the full frame sensor can just shift wherever it wants in the middle of it. So I'm shifting all the way max to the edge of that lens, and it's not vignetting. It's shaking a lot because it's actually some sort of weird wind correlate. And even if I want to shoot these three tallest buildings that you can't even see that way, let me show it to you. So this is what a 13mm 0.5 lens on the iPhone sees, and if I wanted to see all these buildings, I would need to tilt a lot. Even in a portrait scenario, if I wanted to see all these three buildings, I would need to tilt a lot. While on this, I don't have to.
Beautiful light behind me starting to appear. Just as I decided to make this segment about my thoughts on the Laowa 17mm tilt shift. It is absolutely brilliant. It is 100% the best tilt shift lens I've ever used. I've used the Canon legendary 17mm tilt shift lens. The Canon one has electronic contacts. This is a fully manual one. Absolutely no issue for me because all the adjustments and everything you do on a lens like this, you do in manual. So the fact that on the Canon one, you only got to read the aperture in the camera, but the manual focus was still manual. Yeah, there's no need, absolutely no need on a tilt shift lens to have any electronics. So this one is perfect, being absolutely fully manual. What was missing on the Canon lens, which is like the pretty much the #1 lens for any architectural photographer, is a leg. You could have bought a leg from third-party companies, but this one just comes with a leg, and the leg has a Arca Swiss plate on it. Why was I actually not using it? I've just noticed that, funny enough. Why was I using this? Anyway, I've used the 19mm tilt shift lens from Nikon. Didn't quite like it because it had like a bulbous front lens element and it was catching a lot of reflections from everywhere. Even when using a hood and then the hood was getting in the view, it wasn't my favorite lens. And I do use the Nikon system and I've got plenty of Nikon lenses which I love. That one, not quite so. One other Nikon shift lens that I have is the 35mm PC lens, which is probably something from the 80s, and it's only a 35mm, so not a super wide angle lens, and it just has the shift mechanism. It's small and I use it on occasions. It has beautiful sun star effects. Love that lens. Use it rarely, but from time to time, and it's one of also my favorite lenses. Other than the Canon shift lens, I have to say I've been a big Laowa fan for many years. I bought the first lens from Laowa, which was a 12mm f2.8 zero distortion lens, and that lens has honestly been on so many shoots with me, architectural, interiors, exteriors, shot time lapses with it. It's probably one lens that has made me the most amount of money in terms of like brands, projects, and shooting for clients. I know there's now a version 2 of it, and I'm very tempted to get it. And I bought that lens in like 2016. Shortly after that, Laowa released a Magic Shift adapter, which I also got. So the quality was okay, but just it wasn't perfect, I would say. I still used it a lot. I have also the 9mm Laowa 5.6, which is really good, but obviously it softens up at the edges. I have a 28mm f1.2. Fully manual Laowa lens. I use it rarely, but I kind of like it for portrait and when I can focus manually. So I can say pretty confidently that I've had solid experience across a variety of shift lenses and tilt shift lenses. And this is the best build quality, the most amount of features on a single tilt shift lens, considering a full 360 movement of the lens leg, making it easier rather than twisting your three-way geared head into a portrait orientation. You can just do that with the whole system while the lens is attached via the leg. It's fully manual, which is the best thing about this lens, probably driving the cost down. Sharpness of the lens is fantastic. At f8, of course, at f4, when I try to shoot at f4 and shift all the way to edges of the lens capability, it was softening a little bit at the edges. It's just natural. It has an odd 86mm front filter thread. The lens front element isn't quite bulbous, so the filter thread sits really quite close to the edge of the glass here. So what I was able to do is to just get a cheap reducer from 86 to 82, mount my front 82mm filters, and only when shifting all the way to the edge, you could see a little bit of vignetting of the filter. And the thinner filter you get, the less of it you will see. So that's not really an issue for me, because you should never really shift all the way to the max, only if you really have to, because otherwise you're going to be losing a little bit of sharpness. So if you shift 2/3 of the way, that filter in front of it will not be causing you any issues. I really like all the dials, the locking dials, as well as the shifting or tilting dials. They feel solid, really well made. I'm not gonna bother you down with the details of the exact material that this lens is made or the lens elements inside. It is sharp, it is fantastic, it feels heavy, so you know it's gonna be a good lens. They don't make heavy lenses for no reason, so probably the optics are complex. Well, they have to be. If there's a shift element, if it's almost like a large format lens, basically, with also a tilt element. If you don't want the leg, you can easily unscrew it, get rid of it. But I like the leg. I like being able to sometimes change into portrait orientation just on the leg, rather than getting the tripod into a portrait orientation. It does come with a hood that when you tighten it up and lock in place, you can spin with the slightly bulbous elements of the hood 360 to adjust where flares could be hitting the lens, but the hood then prevents you having additional filters unless they're smaller. Yeah, if they would be smaller, the 86 to 82 or a smaller filter, then you could probably still have it inside the hood. Even the hood is in plastic. It's like just fully metal, and yeah, really well made. While filming this, I don't even know the price of this lens, yet I'm 100% sure that if I wasn't to be able to keep this lens, I would be buying it. I really don't know what else to say other than, out of all the tilt shift or just shift lenses that I've ever tried, this is the best one ever. So I'm looking forward for the next 10 or more years of using this lens, as I'm 100% sure that all my clients will love the images. This lens will now become a permanent fixture in my camera bag. I honestly cannot wait to shoot more images with this lens. Thanks for watching.